Hi, my name's Gordon Dedman and welcome to another episode of Bushcraft Survival. In today's episode we're going to be having a brief look at 3 or 4 different tinders that you can use to get your fire going. Now this is interesting. Here's a stringy bark that has been struck by lightning. And if we go all the way up to the top, you can see the tree was actually struck right at the top, causing the charge to come all the way down the side of that tree. Well, look at this. This is a lightning strike. It looks like a giant possum's crawled up the tree. Wow. This will make great tinder and cordage for that matter. Anything that's great for cordage, it's fibrous with long strands like this, will automatically be great for tinder. Buff it up, stringy. That will take a spark beautifully. And that's just something very easy to found. The stringy bark, the turpentine tree. These have a lot of water in them, and water conducts electricity, and so they're prone to lightning strikes, particularly the very tall ones. Wow, that is amazing stuff. I'm going to grab some of this stuff and take it back to camp. This really is tremendous stuff. We can make a lot of resources from something like this. This is a gold mine. So here's that stuff we collected. Absolutely brilliant stuff. Look at it. This is great cordage and great tinder. So just getting a ball of that stuff together, buffing it up, increasing the surface area so there's lots of fibres, just so it's like cotton wool, and that will take a spark beautifully with your ferro rod or your metal match. Absolutely amazing stuff. Look at that. Brilliant. This is another well-known Australian tree. This is a cabbage-tree palm or Livistona australis. And this, as well as being a great source of tinder, is great for shelter building and all the cordage and a whole stack of other things. But we're just interested in the tinder, and what we're after is the fine stuff. Is the fine stuff, the husk at the base of the leaves. But you need to be careful because all of these have really nasty spines on them, so you have to be careful. So I'm just going to go ahead and collect a bit of more of that. That's why I'm using the saw. If I didn't have a saw, I'd use a stick, a hooked stick. This makes excellent tinder, so we'll also take this back to camp and give that a go. Well, I'm sure you all know what this tree is. This is the paperbark tree, or Melaleuca, of which there are several species in Australia. And most of them have this beautiful bark that is like paper, and it makes excellent tinder. Make sure you don't take it from around the tree because you'll ring bark the entire tree. You don't want to do that. This is used for all sorts of things. Aboriginal people would use this for shelter building, for wrapping things in, for fire making, for wrapping babies in, for bedding, for making mats, you name it. The uses of this are endless. So I'm just going to take a few little pieces of that and we're going to have a look at how this makes excellent tinder. So here's another great tinder, although this isn't the best example of one. This is Spiny-headed Matrush or Lamandra longifolia. Now these are very plentiful around waterways and they're very green and very succulent. So I couldn't find any dead leaves on those, but usually there's dead leaves everywhere. So this is also great for cordage making. It's actually great for a snack as well. And I'm pulling out the dead leaves, and because it's good for cordage making, it also means that it's going to be excellent for tinder because it means it's fibrous. So I'm just going to crush those up and buff that up until it turns into cotton wool. And we'll take that back to camp and we'll give that a shot as well. So let's give those tinders that we just collected in quite a short time ago. I've kept them in my pocket to keep them dry. There's our Matrush, our Cabbage-tree palm, and our paperbark. The paperbark first, you can buff it up. You need to buff them all up so they're nice fibrous, so it's like cotton wool with a large surface area. Or you can get your knife and just simply straight shavings like that. Make it very fine. Then get your ferro rod and put a spark into that. Lights as easy as that, but you must prepare it correctly. Same thing with our Cabbage-tree palm. Buff it up, rip it, tear it, create a large surface area, as much surface area as possible. Put that down, ferro rod into that. Exactly the same thing. And lastly, we get our Lomandra longifolia or our Matrush. This requires a little bit more preparation. There wasn't as much of that, but I buffed it up into as near cotton-like consistency as possible, and there you go. So there's 3 simple tinders that we can collect within the area that, if buffed up and prepared the right way, will help you get a fire going. Well, there's a brief look at 3 or 4 tinders that you can use to help get your fire going. If you enjoy these videos, please subscribe to the channel, like them, share them, and if you'd like to do one of our courses, visit www.bushcraftsurvivalaustralia.com.au. My name's Gordon Dedman, and I look forward to seeing you again on the next episode. This makes excellent tinder, so we'll also take this back to camp and give that a go.